Hi! Welcome back to my channel. Naririnig ba ako? Welcome back to my channel. This is the Research channel, and on this episode, we are going to do, or I am going to do, a live viewing of the Senate hearing that happened yesterday. Technically yesterday, but this morning, April 30, kasi na-miss ko siya kanina because sobrang busy. So, kaya ngayon ko lang siya papanoorin. So, na-view ko na yung first part nung session, and I believe it's a continuation of yung previous session ng Committee on Health and Demography. And dapat magre-react ako dun ining anyway, dapat magre-react ako dun sa parang plenary session nila kahapon kasi may privilege speech doon si Raffy Tulfo. So, hindi ko na nagawa kahapon. So, sorry. But anyway, I have something to show you na I want to connect lang dun sa sinasabi kasi or yung stand or yung ginagawa kasi ni Raffy Tulfo pagdating dun sa generic drugs tsaka yung branded medicines. Generic medicines and branded medicines. So, ito yun. Wait lang ha. And I'll try to connect this dun sa point na gusto ko kung bakit medyo keen ako pagdating dito sa sinasabi ni Raffy Tulfo about generics and branded medicines. So, let's watch.
Fresh ako ng gamot ngayon. Ayan, yung mga in-order ng nanay ko. Pero may nakita ako ate ko sa mga pinipresyohan ko. Bakit kasi, ano to? Sino to? Bakit nagbago kayo ng packaging? Dati kasi ganito ang packaging niya. Tapos ngayon, naging ganito na. Kung mapapalit, explain na naman ang tao to. Kasi for sure, akala nila na fake tong isa. Kasi naman ate ko, ba't yung tinagal yung nanay? Hahanapin nila yung nanay. Sabi ko, ay ito na po yung bagong packaging. Naging independent na po yung bata. And sa mga moms ko out there na ang paborito ng mga anak ay strawberry flavored, ako po, wala na strawberry flavor. Melon na. Melon. At sa mga gusto na may orange, don't worry, mark safe po ang orange. Meron pa rin po tayong mga orange flavor. At ko sa yun lang. Kung wala pa po advisory, pakigawa naman po. So nagpe-pressure ako ng gamot ngayon. Ayan, yung mga in-order ng nanay.
Okay. So, anong point or anong connection nung pinakita ko na yun? Si Ritromycin or si Archie Larga, isang content creator na sumikat sa TikTok and I think also on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. So, siya yung pharmacist nung pharmacy business ng parents niya. So, parang in-house pharmacy siya. And sumikat siya because of kung paano siya nag-deal with or nagbebenta ng mga gamot. And yung mga common misconceptions ng mga tao about pharmacies, pharmacists, and yung sa pagbili ng mga gamot. So, anong part dito yung gusto kong bigyan ng stress? Yung sinabi niya na yung mapapa-explain na naman daw siya sa mga tao kasi nagpalit ng packaging yung biogesic na gamot, paracetamol, for kids. So, hi Reg Cruz. Hi Joe Noodles. I think second time mo na tong na-catch ako ng live. Medyo nawiwili ako. Ayun. Pero kailangan ko maghanap ng time to do this kasi if not, maraming distractions. So, yun. Anyway, ano yung part nung video na to, yung gusto kong i-point out. Yung sinabi ni Archie, na mapapa-explain na naman siya dun sa mga bumibili sa butika nila na it's the same medicine na paracetamol na biogesic, nagpalit lang ng packaging. Nawala lang yung nanay dun sa packaging. So, si Archie, alam niya yung mga buyers niya. 'Di ba? Know your customers nga kung isa kang marketer or business person. So, alam niya yung mga concerns ng mga bumibili sa butika nila na sure siya na hahanapin nila yung nakasanayan nilang nakikita nila doon sa packaging ng gamot, yung nanay. So, syempre, may explain naman siya na it's the same thing. Kasi alam niya na ang iisipin ng public is, baka yung binibenta nila is fake na gamot. Kasi hindi nila nakikita kung ano yung nakasanayan nila na nakikita doon sa packaging ng gamot. So, yun eh, parang makikita natin na marami sa ating mga kababayan na may ganong attachments sa mga bagay-bagay. Hi, Perfect Defect. Hi, Henry D. Gazer. And Bry. Ano yun? What's this? Hindi ko naabutan. Okay. Wala na yung mommy. Wala na yung mommy na endorse sa packaging. Dapat bawasan na, no? Hindi, sabi naman daw naging independent na yung bata. So, kailangan ng support ng bata. So, hindi mababawasan yung presyo ng gamot. Anyway, hi Takumi. Ayun, so 'di ba, diyan natin makikita na yung mga kababayan natin. May mga kababayan talaga tayo na ang understanding is sa legitimacy ng gamot, kino-correlate nila or kinakabit nila dun sa kung ano yung physical na nakikita nila dun sa packaging and all, na pag may nabago, na ano sila, na ay ano yan, fake yan, ganyan yan, o totoo ba yan, yan pa rin ba yung dati naming binibili, kasing effective pa rin ba yan ng biogesic na binibili namin before. And I think, kuha ko rin yung concern ni Archie na pwede kasing mangyari na may mga mamamayan tayo, may mga kababayan tayo na kapag may nag-iba dun sa gamot, hindi na nila bibilihin. Kasi iisipin nila na, hindi yan yung gamot na binibili ko eh. So, parang somehow, nahihinder yung treatment na imbis na tuloy-tuloy yung paggamot, nahihinto because may nagbago dun sa gamot. So, isa pa lang yan oo, tama, Reg Cruz. Yan, nakasanayan na. So, we are just talking about packaging ng mga gamot na kilala na nila. So, what more if you have Senator Raffy Tulfo parang giving the wrong connotation ng difference ng generic na medicine tsaka branded na medicine. Kasi sinasabi niya kasi dun kahapon sa privilege speech niya na bakit pa pinapayagan ng FDA na merong generic generic na gamot if sinasabi naman ng mga doktor na hindi siya pareha dun sa mga branded na gamot aside from yung price difference nila. May sinasabi siyang mga potency, eme. Hindi niya nagigets yung idea behind ng generic medicines tsaka ng branded medicine. So, kaya ginawa kong example to. Kaya din, naisip ko na, in my opinion, ganon ka-dangerous yung merong isang tao like Senator Raffy Tulfo, a very powerful and influential person, na nagsasalita at hindi careful sa mga sinasabi niya. At ang mga followers niya ay mostly yung mga masang Pilipino. 'Di ba? So, yun lang. And now, let's go to the part na very boring, which is, yung sabi ko, viewing lang naman ng Senate hearing kanina. Kasi it's the continuation nung sagupaan ni Senator Raffy Tulfo at ni Secretary Herbosa. And yon, nag-meet na naman pala sila kanina. Hi, Jeanette! Question, Jeanette ba o Jonette? Let me know. Mas gusto kong tawagin kang Jeanette. Ay, hindi pala. Mali pala to. Wait lang ha. Asan na ba yun? Asan na ba? Okay. So, dun sa
Senator Jingo Estrada.
wait. Si Senator Bongo yon. Anyway, nag-speech na si Senator Bongo. The privilege speech na siya. Initially, nandun si Senator Bato. Then, umalis. Tapos, nag-speech si Raffy Tulfo, Senator Raffy Tulfo. Kung ano yung sinabi niya kahapon, yun din yung sinabi niya kanina. pero summarized version. And then si Senator G.V. Ejercito, and then si Senator Jinggoy, which I feel or I felt na it's Jeanette. Okay. Hi, Jeanette. Oh, guys, Jeanette. Para sure tayo. Ayun. Anyway, nung pinanood ko yung umpisang part, pero yung later part, hindi ko pa napapanood. So, yun yung papanoorin ko ngayon. With you guys, with me. So, yung umpisang part, I think maganda na nandun yung presence ni Senator JV and Senator Jinggoy Estrada. Kasi compose na compose yung dalawa. And hindi makapagbarumbahan si Senator Raffy Tulfo doon sa sa session. So, sabi ko, ay sige, i-live ko to. So ngayon, after kasi nung mga privilege speech nila, nag-mention ng parang order of or yung mga agenda nila for the day si Senator Bongo. And next na magsasalita here is si Dr. Liachon, na consultant before yun sa COVID. And I want to start from here kasi gusto ko yung mga sinabi niya, yung feature niya doon sa session. So let's watch. Guys, tanong lang kayo if you have something to ask. Wait.
For an orderly discussion, no, we shall discuss the following matters in order.
During this
Inquiry on the alleged multi-level marketing scheme involving a pharmaceutical company. Second, presentation of DOH and DBM on the status of the release of the health emergency allowance. Third, presentation of DOH on the implementation of
yung
Malasakit
agenda
Centers
pala
Law
for the day.
and the utilization of the MY program. Number 4, presentation of Philippine Health Facility Development Plan, the status po. Unahin po natin ang itong MLM Pharma.
Hi, Bert.
May we hear from Dr. Anthony Liachon, former advisor of the National Task Force on COVID-19, who revealed that some doctors are allegedly involved in schemes with a pharmaceutical company receiving luxury cars and other perks in exchange for prescribing the products of the company. Pagkatapos naman po niya, papasagutin rin po natin yung side po ng pharmaceutical company.
Yes,
Mr.
Takumi,
Chair,
black talaga yung
I have
video
a
dun sa...
presentation.
Anyway,
ahead
I'm
po.
using yung...
Okay.
Wait nga. I'm using yung video straight from Senate of the Philippines. So, black talaga yung screen nila. So, yun lang. Let's go. Ay, by the way pala, if I may just mention, natawa lang ako kasi nung sa privilege speeches nila, Senator Bongo, JV, and Jinggoy, they all focused on dun sa issue ng multi-level marketing scheme nung isang pharma company. Pero si Raffy Tulfo, kung ano-ano yung bukod sa MLM, kung ano-ano yung issues niya, like yung yung sa PRC, yung sa generics and branded. So, yun lang. Tawa lang ako kanina. Anyway, let's continue. Ba't parang nawala yung audio?
So while waiting for the presentation, Mr. Chair, I read in the Philippine Daily Star and the Inquirer about this. So I researched a little bit on this
Tama ka
and then
dyan,
found a blog
Jojo.
regarding this.
Correct.
And
Tamaan siya dito.
and then through some undisclosed number, yun po yung sinabi. But let me proceed, sir, with your permission, sir. Honorable members of the Senate, esteemed colleagues and fellow advocates for health, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Dr. Anthony Liachon. and I come before you today not only as a physician, but as an independent advocate for health reform, propelled by a profound sense of duty to address a crisis that threatens the core of our medical profession. We are gathered here under the weight of serious allegations, allegations that suggest a fundamental betrayal of the trust that the Filipino people place in the healthcare providers and their patients. The issue at hand is not merely one of an individual misconduct. It is a systemic problem that erodes the foundational values of our fragile healthcare system. And these allegations imply that certain interactions between physicians and the pharmaceutical industry have been compromised not by medical necessity but financial incentives. This hearing is our opportunity, our obligation to unearth the truth behind these claims, and it is our moral and legal duty to ensure that such breaches of trust are exposed and addressed with the utmost severity and sense of urgency. Next slide. In the light of the
Hi,
2019
Alex.
Code of Ethics of the Medical Profession, we are reminded of the principles that should govern our conduct. Next slide. Section 9.2, the ethical and professional conduct explicitly states that the physician must not take advantage of the health product industry, nor should they allow themselves to be exploited in this relationship. It is very clear that the physician should not solicit favors from biopharmaceutical and medical device companies for personal interest or gain. Imagine the plight of an unsuspecting patient, vulnerable, seeking comfort and healing, not only to be exploited for profit. Picture a poor family grappling with chronic illness, whose suffering is compounded by the revelation that their trusted physician valued money over health. Such scenarios are not just unethical, they are extremely inhumane. They shake the very trust upon which the doctor-patient relationship is built, a trust that is essential for effective medical treatment and patient well-being. Today, we ask our honorable senators that the deliberations be guided by both the weight of the responsibility and the depth of our empathy. As we examine the pieces of evidence and listen to the testimonies, let us remember the faces behind the facts. The patients whose lives and health have been jeopardized by these alleged unethical practices purportedly committed by a few pharmaceutical companies. Our response must be robust and unyielding, for anything less would not only fail those affected, but would also tarnish the integrity of the entire medical community.
Okay, so I think na-alarm din yung mga doktor or yung mga officials about this issue ng MLM because I think for them, it's something new, something na um, I think earn ng ano nila, attention talaga nila more than the other issues na sinabi ni Raffy Tulfo. I think tama na ito yung pag-focusan nila. And for yung mga mamamayan, kinakagaya ko, I feel na kailangan alamin natin to kasi ano to yun nga, minention ni Dr. Liachon na may relationship kasi yung patient and doctor na undeniable. Yung trust level dyan is really ibang level. So, kaya kailangan nilang tingnan to with consideration dun sa profession ng tao and at the same time yung nag-emphasize naman yung profession sa plight ng mga tao or yung sa kalagayan ng mga tao. Kumbaga parang i-weigh in nila based on those two naman na wag i-disregard yung facts or yung fact na yon na profession and yung empathy dun sa tao. Yes, ang daming tama dito. So sana magaling umilag si si Idol. So, yon continue. So, nagigets niyo ba bakit sinimulan ko kay Dr. Liachon yung pag-share ko ng viewing nito live Kasi yun, na-touch ako and yun nga, as mamamayan, parang this is an opportunity para sa atin na madagdagan yung awareness natin tungkol sa mga ganitong bagay. Na yung maybe iniisip ng iba is okay lang yung MLM scheme kasi nag-work or maybe nakakalusot tong pharma company na to. So, yun yung titingnan dito. And pag natapos na to, at least alam nating mga mamamayan na, okay, hindi pwedeng ganyan. So, hindi nyo kami pwedeng lokohin na kasi alam na namin. Diba? I mean, pinag-aralan na yan, nagkaroon ng batas about that, and we are aware. We know. Diba? Yun yung importante dito. So, let's continue.
Next slide. As per our code of ethics, physicians should exercise sound judgment, self-restraint, and discipline when participating in activities organized by biopharmaceutical and medical device companies that may be misconstrued as influencing their prescribing practices. Moreover, physicians such as ourselves are prohibited to participate in any marketing strategies, including engaging in multi-level marketing schemes using special prescription pods, profiting from rebates, and collecting commissions. Now,
So, yan na, malinaw prohibited pala, prohibited. So, ewan ko, guys, kayo ba napansin nyo ba? Kasi ako napansin ko before, nung medyo bata-bata pa ako. May mga, so bago yung mga regulations nila, sometime 1990s, yan. Yung, ano kasi ako hikain ako nung younger years ko. So, palagi ako sa doktor, ganyan. So, yung mga, dati, natatandaan ko lang, may mga doktor na gumagamit ng reseta na, ano siya, yung parang branded nung pharma na may design, ganyan, may picture nung gamot na bote do sa gilid, tapos yung signature nung doktor. Ganon yung ginagamit ng mga doktor before. 90s to ha. 80s, 90s. And right now, pag yung mga kids ko, nung babies pa sila, pag dinadala ko for check-up or if magkakasakit man sila, parang na-notice ko na yung mga doktor ngayon, kanya-kanya na sila ng prescription pad na parang tailor-made para sa kanila or custom-made for them. Tapos nandun yung number nila. Kasi yung before, parang hindi sinusulat pa nila yung number nila nun Kasi nga, may branding nung pharma or nung gamot. May branding nung gamot. So, yun yung na-notice ko. Nowadays, so far ako, in my experience, mga ganon, yung prescription pads or yung mga reseta ng mga doktor na so far nakikita ko. For you, Joe Noodles, napansin ko lang yung sulat. Tapos paracetamol pala yun. Oo, yun din. Yung before kasi, I think even before naman, sinusulat hindi. Hindi. Nung bata ako, parang hindi. Palaging ang nakalagay sa reseta, automatic is Ventolin, ganyan. Pero ngayon, nowadays, generic name muna and then sa baba yung preferred options ng ng generic, ng branded. Branded or minsan nilalagay nila either right med or whatever. Pero hindi yung eksaktong name nung generic na gamot. Yun. Anyway, let's continue.
next slide. As we confront these disturbing allegations, we must consider the broader implications. Matindi po ito. Each instance of misconduct not only harms individual patients, but also damages public confidence in our healthcare system. This crisis of trust, if not addressed, could have lasting repercussion, deterring individuals from seeking necessary medical care and dissuading the bright minds from entering the already tired and depleted medical profession, brought about by the migration of healthcare workers who seek greener pastures. The emotional and psychological impact on patients and their families cannot be overstated. When trust is broken, the effects are profound and far-reaching. Healing becomes not just a physical challenge, but an emotional ordeal. And patients may feel betrayed and skeptical, questioning every medical decision and recommendation. This atmosphere of doubt can hinder effective treatment and recovery.
See, yun yung magiging implication and repercussion pag hindi nila na-address to. Kasi nga yung relationship between patients and doctors, dapat solid yan eh. Dapat hindi mabobroken, hindi mabebreak yung trust sa mga physicians tsaka mga doctors. Kasi nga, gamutan kasi yung usapan dito eh. Life and death situations most of the time eh. So, very important na dapat nasa tama lang tayo.
Creating additional barriers to health. So, in the pursuit of justice, let us also champion the cause of reform. We urge our dear Honorable Senator to pass a legislation strong enough to enforce stricter regulations and oversight concerning interactions between healthcare providers and the pharmaceutical industry. Transparency must be non-negotiable. Every financial relationship and conflict of interest should be openly disclosed to maintain the integrity of clinical decisions. And moreover, we must advocate for stronger protection for our patients. And this includes establishing clear guidelines for ethical behavior and creating huge mechanisms for reporting and addressing misconduct. We need to foster an environment where ethical practices are celebrated and where deviations from these standards are promptly and effectively addressed. So, as we move forward from this hearing, let our actions reflect our dedication to upholding the highest standards of medical ethics. Let us not only rectify the wrongs that have been reported, but also work diligently to prevent future breaches. Let us reinforce the trust that is essential for the doctor-patient relationship and crucial for effective healthcare. So in conclusion, honorable senators, I call on each of you and everyone here to reflect on the sacred responsibility we bear to those we serve. Let us resolve to restore dignity and trust to our healthcare system. Let us ensure that every Filipino, everyone de la Cruz has access to care that is not only effective but also ethical. Together, let us rise to meet this challenge, embodying the change we wish to see in our profession. And lastly, thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Chair, to speak in this critical issue. And thank you for your commitment to a healthier, more effective, ethical future for the Filipinos. Together, let us heal. Together, let us restore. Together, let us advance with renewed integrity and commitment to the well-being of every person we have the privilege to serve. Maraming salamat to, Mr. Chair.
Nako, sabi ni Dr. Liatson, advanced daw. Parang yung isa gusto pa-backwards tayo pagdating sa mga gamot eh. Anyway, let's go.
Salamat, Dr. Lachon. May we now hear from Mr. Luis Raymond Go, Chairperson and CEO of Belken sa Pharma.
Mr. Chair, if I may, maybe we can hear first the response of the DOH before we proceed.
Ayan na ang exciting part. No, hindi pa naman. Hanggang dito lang yung inapanood ko na preview. So, yung mga susunod na eksena, ngayon ko pa lang mapapanood with you guys.
With Belkens.
Okay.
DOH mo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Let me first thank the Senate Committee on Health, chaired by Senator Go, for unearthing this particular scheme. Secondly, I'd like to thank Senator Rapi Tulfo for exposing this during the last hearing.
Yee! Pinasalamatan siya. Ayan ha. Ayan ha. um, sign of a very mature and professional person, di ba? Nag-admit and nag-thank you for the exposure ng issue. So, di ba? Admirable.
And as you very well know, when I did a little investigation, I have found that what your allegations have been saying in the last hearing were true. Hence, I issued immediately the administrative order reminding all government physicians about generics and everything.
Oh, si Secretary Herbosa nag-investigate right away after that last session. And sinabi niya na yung result ng investigation niya na it's true. And admittedly, he said na, okay, totoo yung sinasabi mo. And so, may course of action siya kaagad. Eh, ang Senator Idol nila, palagi lang nag-e-expose, palagi lang nananakot. Pero ano na, kamusta? Ito pa lang yata ang medyo magkakaroon ng bunga. But I think sila Senator JV Bongo and Jinggoy yung may part na malaki dito. Not really sure.
So I'd like to remind, I would like to expose to the committee some certain things about the generics law, the generics law RA 6675, which was passed decades ago. And this required all physicians to prescribe generics.
Ayan ha, Senator Idol nila. Another clarification from Secretary Herbosa kasi nga mukhang from your privilege speech kahapon, parang hindi mo naintindihan yung in-explain niya nung una. So, explain niya ulit. So, sana nakikinig siya this time.
Actually, this is by law and there is a penalty therein when the physician does not prescribe the generic name. So all physicians, after we pass the Generics Act, we are supposed to prescribe the generic name. And if the physician does not follow this, there are penalties in the law. And this is something the committee can look into because the penalties are now so small, because the penalties put in there for first offense, it is a reprimand. For the second offense, it is 2,000 to 5,000 pesos. For the third offense, it's 5,000 to 10,000 pesos plus suspension of 30 days of license.
Secretary, but you cannot prevent the doctors for also naming the brand names, correct?
Yes. So the prescription, according to the law, is you can write the generics name
And the
alone,
brand name.
or you can put underneath the generic
Correct.
name in parentheses your preferred, the doctor's
Yes.
preferred brand. But in
Correct.
the
O ha, pag hindi mo kinakat yung resource person, madami kang nakukuha nalalaman. Di ba? Correct. Kasi kahapon tinira-tira siya dun sa plenary session. Tinira-tira siya ni Raffy Tulfo. Palibasa wala siya dun eh. 'Di ba? So ayan ngayon Ano kaya yung walang hindi nagpan sa kay Senator Tulfo eh. Sayang hindi natin nakita yung reaction niya. Pero yun nga, as I was saying, ang dami nating nakuhang information in just a few minutes na nagsasalta siya dire-diretso, di ba? Kasi walang pabibong nagka-cut off doon sa gusto niya sabihin. So, na-explain niya. Na-explain niya ng maayos. Kaya yung sabi ko kanina na, parang iba yung mood kasi nandyan si Senator JV tsaka Senator Jinggoy eh. Medyo maayos yung flow. Walang S-boot.
implementation, the patient is given the choice at the pharmacy level. They are given the choice to ask for the generic brand they like, not the choice of the physician. So this is very clear in our generics law, and maybe we should look into the penalties to prevent all these scam multi-level systems that are happening and are benefiting some of our physicians.
Actually ako, based on experience, unang ang tinatanong ng pharmacist na pag binigay mo yung reseta sa kanila, generic po ma'am, ganun yung una nilang agad tanong eh. Kasi tatanong agad nila kung ano yung preference mo. Pero ang tanong is, generic po ba? Kasi nga baka mas kilala mo yung branded, ganyan. O kaya naman, kapag alam na nila kung kunyari, kung kunyari, for a certain illness, yun yung nire-reseta ng mga generic na nakikita nila sa reseta, alam na nila na most of the time yung branded yung preference na binibili. Kasi nakikita nila yung data na yan, di ba, sa sales, sa benta nila every day. So, minsan sinasabi na nila, kapag nakita nila doon sa reseta na, ma'am, wala na po yung branded nito, ubus na. So, ang choice nyo na lang is generic. Di ba? May mga ganong may mga ganong pharmacies. Alam na nila na pagdating doon sa particular generic name na nandun sa reseta, alam na nila na ang top choice dyan is yung branded. Kaya lang, may other generic options naman na pwede.
For government, we only prescribe generics because in the government hospitals, we have to procure based on the RA 9184 drugs that are listed in the Philippine National Drug Formulary. So for government hospitals, we only prescribe generics. In fact, the non-generics are the ones that are prescribed in the private hospitals. Also, when the Universal Healthcare Law was passed, our author for the Universal Healthcare Law is here. We included
Sure, Bernard.
provision of the law. It is Section 23.
Sweet dreams.
It created a bioethics committee, and it also required, similar to the US, a Sunshine Act, wherein pharmaceutical companies are supposed to report to the DOH and the FDA. Section 35, Section 35, the ethics and public health policy and practice under this law. And I'm very happy to note that this is all actually being done. And pharmaceutical companies are supposed to report to our FDA all grants, all contributions and gifts that are given to public hospitals, private hospitals, etc. We also signed the Mexico Principle and the Kuala Lumpur Principle. These are code of ethics, international code of ethics, and we are signatory to this. The Mexico Principle is the code of ethics for the biopharmaceutical industry. So all businesses, all businessmen in the field of pharmaceutical business should also follow this guideline. That means the gifts are prohibited. Excessive gifts are prohibited to be given to those that will benefit from them. The Kuala Lumpur Principle is also the same in 2011. This is for medical devices. Ito naman po yung mga medical devices. So we are one with the Committee on Health and all the senators who have made the privileged speeches yesterday regarding this multi-level marketing. Number one, it is unethical. Now, let me also add that we also have the law on Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. If a physician is practicing in a government hospital, he is considered a public official or a public servant. Therefore, the rules of the government service apply, and accepting gifts is punishable under the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act in the Philippines. And we can file, if we prove this, that they did indeed receive excessive gifts like luxury cars and expensive watches and full paid trips, and this is not disclosed, or there is no disclosure, this will have to be, we have to file cases to the ombudsman. In fact, after that hearing, Mr. Senator, we also asked the director of the hospital involved, which is a government hospital, to start to investigate if there are government doctors in his institution that are either stockholders or practicing this multi-level marketing practice in their private practice, in their practice in that hospital, because then we can use these laws to actually file cases against them. Thank you, Mr.
Ay naman pala, meron naman palang mga laws na pwedeng mag-apply. Kumbaga, they only need somebody to actually file yung case, formal, official. So, di ba, ang ganda ng explanation niya, malinaw. Marami siyang nasabing, kumbaga, na-explain niya yung gusto niyang i-explain na clarification from the last, session.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, makasingit. Maraming salamat sa iyo, Secretary Ted
Mr.
Herbosa, sa pag-amin na yung mga sinabi ko nung last hearing ay totoo.
Siyempre, kailangan niyang i-claim. Oh my gosh, nasashock ako. Yes, Takumi. Ayan na, malinaw na may option yung pasyente. So sana yung mga kagaya kong mamamayan out there, panoorin niyo tong episode na to ng Senate hearing sa website, sa channel ng Senate of the Philippines dito sa YouTube. Kung tatambay rin lang kayo dito sa YouTube, manood na kayo ng makabuluhang channel like itong sa Senate of the Philippines. Medyo magtsatsaga lang kayo ng maraming oras. Pero it's very, kumbaga, it's very educational and informative. Ayan. Very educational and informative yung mga videos dito sa Senate of the Philippines na channel. So, yon. Yes. Ayan na. Siyempre, kailangan sisingit siya. Pwede din naman yan pag konting lambing lang. Pero yes, eto na tayo sa exciting part.
And that's very important to me na para alam natin ngayon na meron talagang nangyaring kababalagaan sa medical community
Wait,
na ito yung dahilan kung
ulit.
upang ma-address.
In the Philippines, and we can file if we prove this that they did indeed receive excessive gifts like luxury cars and expensive watches and full paid trips, and this is not disclosed or there is no disclosure. We have to file cases to the ombudsman. In fact, after that hearing, Mr. Senator, we also asked the director of the hospital involved, which is a government hospital, to start to investigate if there are government doctors in his institution that are either stockholders or practicing this multi-level marketing practice in their practice in that hospital. Because then we can use these laws to actually file cases against them. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, makasingit. Maraming salamat sa iyo, Secretary Ted Herbosa, sa pag-amin na yung mga sinabi ko nung last hearing ay totoo. And that's very important to me na para alam natin ngayon.
It's very important to me. Sabi niya, talaga. It's very important to me. Na na-credit siya. Parang finally ba, meron na siyang totoong credit na sa kanya.
Na
Kaloka.
meron talagang nangyaring kababalagaan sa medical community na ito yung dahilan kung bakit yung nag-hearing para maayos yung problema yon and we can pass legislation upang ma-address yung samut-saring problema. Now, Mr. Chair, I will submit to this committee the list of doctors involved in the MLM scheme.
Uy, may evidence.
Subject
Galing.
to verification. Marami po ito. Kung babasahin ko ito isa-isa, baka hanggang mamayang gabi tayo. But
Siyempre
we
naman,
have to investigate this and file appropriate charges if need be. Kung talagang sila involved, all the
Senator Idol, anong if need be? Need talaga. Push na yan. Sinabi na nga ni Dr. Liachon tsaka ni Secretary Herbosa eh. Parang gusto mo pang maglinger yung mga ebidensya na yan sa'yo eh. Go na, push na yan.
may mga kopya ko ng cheque na in-issue ng Belkens sa mga doktor na involved dito sa scheme. And then also itong sa Security Exchange Commission. But mamaya, just mention some names, a few of them, na pasok di na diin.
True.
sa scheme na ito. Pwede ako magtanong, Mr. Chair? Isa lang?
Sa kay DOH. Go ahead, sir.
Kobe Boy 0824, hello. Hindi siya galing sa Facebook at YouTube. Actually, nung sa first part, nung sa privilege, anong introduction ni Tulfo, earlier part niyan, finlash on screen yung names ng mga doctors. Naka-Excel file siya. Excel file or Google Sheet. Pinakita sa screen. So, hindi galing Facebook, hindi galing YouTube. But, hindi natin alam kung authenticated yung papel niya na yun or whatever. So, yun lang. Pero pinakita yung mga names.
Dalawa actually, kay Secretary Erbosa. Secretary Erbosa, ilan ba nalaman na merong ganitong klaseng scheme after my expose? O alam niyo na ito way before because you've been a practicing doctor before you became a secretary of the DOH. Am I right, sir?
Ang alam trips to foreign conferences and probably meals in expensive restaurants. But itong scheme wherein subscription is counted and the a quota is made, yung multi-level marketing, ngayon ko lang nalaman na may ganung multi-level marketing. And ngayon ko lang nalaman na ganun ka exorbitant yung mga gifts from expensive to luxury cars.
Okay. Granting nga nyo lang po nalaman na meron palang ganitong klaseng scheme.
Parang si Idol, parang gusto niyang i-paint na meron siyang gustong ipinta kay Secretary Erbosa dun sa tanong niya. Na parang gusto ko rin itanong sa kanya, na Senator Idol, ang daming mong di ba? Ang daming mong expose na alam. Kailan ba magkakaroon ng mga solusyon ng mga expose mo na yan?
Ngayon alam nyo na yung plan ninyo, sir.
Wait lang,
So nakausap
balik tayo. Parang chop yung...
Erbosa. Secretary Erbosa, ilan ba nalaman
Ganun talaga.
na merong ganitong klaseng scheme after my expose? O alam nyo na ito way before because you've been a practicing doctor before you became a secretary of the DOH. Am I right, sir?
Ang alam trips to foreign conferences and probably meals in expensive restaurants. But itong scheme wherein subscription is counted and the a quota is made, yung multi-level marketing, ngayon ko lang nalaman na may ganung multi-level marketing. And ngayon ko lang nalaman na ganun ka exorbitant yung mga gifts from expensive to luxury cars.
Okay. Granting nga nyo lang po nalaman na meron palang ganitong klaseng scheme. Ngayon alam nyo na yung plan ninyo, sir.
So nakausap ko na po ang FDA at pinaimbestigahan ko na ang pharmacies that kind of scheme kasi they are violating the Mexico Principle which their CPR and their license to operate is actually based on. Pangalawa, kinausap ko yung director ng ospital na medyo na-mention sa social media. Putok naman po kung anong ospital at inutusan ko siyang gumawa ng investigation. Hinihintay ko pa ho ang report nun.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hindi ako magaling na marites. Hindi ko alam kung anong ospital yon. Meron pala. Okay. But at least, di ba, may mabilisan siyang action na ginawa. So, hence, very meaty yung session kanina. Yes, Takumi. Sana nga may hindi pinakita kung authenticated yung documents niya. Basta lang yung nakita ko kanina, parang Excel, siya, sheet or Excel form. Basta yung mga names ganun. Naka-table. But anyway, yun nga, as to continue, at least may nagawa ng action si Secretary Erbosa. nag-prepare siya talaga for rapid tool.
Pangatlo, kinausap ko ang president ng Philippine Medical Association and natuwa naman ako, naglabas si Dr. Kalimag ng issuance and reminder. Yung Code of Ethics na pinakita po ni Dr. Tony Liachon ay ni-reiterate din ni Dr. Kalimag. At kinausap ko rin yung PCP president si Rontin Solante para i-remind din lahat at nag-issue rin siya. So kumakausap naman ako dun sa mga mabubuting doktor natin, ng mga opisyal sa kanilang mga society para tulungan ako para dito tulungan tayo, Senator Tul, para makita ang punot dulo nitong problema ito.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pot, Senator Tulfo, kasabi lang, tulungan tayo. Kasi yung approach ni Idol talaga parang may gustong palabasin na hindi makakatulong sa karamihan But as you can see here, no, yung mga doctors na, di ba, they would really parang readily show effort or share effort na, oh, teka lang muna, ano to parang industriya natin to na nababahiran So let's get to the bottom of this. Parang naging ganun Although reactive, but again, kasi nga, yung mga illegal naman kasi, and, in my opinion, yung mga illegal schemes na ganyan, hindi mo naman talaga malalaman yan until mag-blow up na sila Kasi nga, illegal nga, hindi naman talaga yan ipapaalam sa'yo talaga Talagang under the radar yan. So, once it hits the fan, doon mo lang talaga maa-actionan yan Unless meron talagang parang whistleblower na magmamagandang loob, di ba? At yung magiging malakas yung loob, matapang na from the start pa lang, isa-stop na. So let's continue.
Now, gagawa po kayo ng investigasyon tungkol dito. Since we still don't have
Hindi nakikinig si Idol. Nakakainis. Sinabi kanina na iniimbestigahan na. They've started it na.
a law against this
Wait, balik tayo.
practice.
Tayo, Senator Tul, para
Sir.
So,
A law against
yung director ng ospital na medyo na-mention sa social media, putok naman po kung anong ospital at inutusan ko siyang gumawa ng investigation. Hinihintay ko pa ho ang report nun. Pangatlo, kinausap ko ang president ng Philippine Medical Association and natuwa naman ako, naglabas
na sila po ay guilty
Wait, ano ba
na
yan?
sila
Hindi
law
ko-
against
tayo, Senator Tul, para makita ang punot dulo nitong problemang ito.
Thank you. Thank you, Doc. Now, gagawa po kayo ng investigasyon tungkol dito. Since we still don't have a law against this practice na conflict of interest ng mga doktor kasi involved sila sa MLM ng Belkens Pharmaceutical Incorporated. Kapag napatunayan na sila po ay guilty, ano pong klaseng sanction ang pwedeng maipataw sa kanila? Ano po
Teka lang, bakit Idol? Hindi mo pa nabasa yan? Wala ba siyang kopya ng Mexican channeling? Tatanong mo pa talaga yan dyan? Diba? Anyway, nakakainis dito kay Idol. Alam na niya na may mali, ayaw pa niya aksyonan. Gusto pa niya daan muna sa media bago para bumango niya. Diyan, ipasa pa niya doon. Oo nga. Which is yun nga yun yung dito bulag yung mga tao na parang iniipon niya, nag-iipon siya ng bala, pero hindi naman siya yung gagawa. Diba? Hindi naman siya yung mag-aayos talaga. So, ay, Joe Noodle, I know yung pharma. Yeah, pharma, pero sabi nung sabi ni Secretary Herbosa, yung government hospital na pumotok yung pangalan or na-name sa social media, Yun yung hindi ko alam. Yung hindi ko nalaman. Hi, Lorenan. Watching from NSW. Sorry, hindi ako nakasuot ng salamin. Hindi ko makita. Hello, hello. Good morning, good evening. Ayun. Thank you naman. Pero wala akong nakitang post na gano'n. Ano kayang hospital yon? Or sino kaya doon sa hospital na yun yung involved? Anyway, let's continue.
Yung pwedeng maikaso sa kanila? Ano pong pwedeng maiparusa sa kanila? Sir.
So, Mr. Chair, ang gagamitin nating mga penalty ay kung ano yung allowed by law.
Which is 2,000 pesos.
Merong suspension at may revocation. Ako naman, na-interview ako kaninang umaga sa television at sinabi ko, kung ganito ko exorbitant yung regalo, millions of pesos, siguro naman pwede ang revocation dyan. Kasi it's the gravity of the crime. So, bahala po ang Board of Medicine ng PRC para mag-decide doon sa penalty, kung ano doon sa nakabase sa batas. Ang isa ko pang nakita po, meron pang isang batas na pwede nating gamitin. Bawal din po kasi sa mga doktor ang magbigay ng reseta at doon mo bilhin yung gamot sa kanyang clinic. Meron tayong pharmacy law na naipatas, RA 10918, wherein
Ano pong penalty?
pinagbawal na po. Hindi ko kabisado, hindi naman po tayo
Okay.
abogado, pero may penalty din po doon kasi ang penalty doon, bawal ang doktor magbenta ng gamot kung wala kang pharmacy license. So pharmacist lang po ang pwedeng dispense ng gamot. So kahit makakareseta lang kami, pero hindi kami pwedeng magbenta sa aming mga klinika at opisina ng
Okay.
any gamot kahit food supplement.
So Doc,
Okay, pero wait. May question ako. Paano kung, kasi based on experience paano kung yung doktor nag-prescribe ng gamot and then sa tabi ng clinic niya, may pharmacy na minamanage nung asawa niya na pharmacist. Paano yung ganong setup? Attorney Claire and Attorney Libayan, pakisagot. Nagtanong, yeah, it's a valid question because it happened to me. Tapos nakita ko naman yung clinic, yung pharmacy niya, kompleto naman ang business permit, blah, 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 blah. Yun. Yun yung tanong ko. Paano yun? Hi, Mang Temyo. Good morning. Peace tayo. Hindi naman tayo nag-away. Hello. Pero may mga doktor na nagbebenta ng gamot nila, no brand, mostly sa derma. Yes, also that. Paano yan? Kasi nangyari din sa akin yan. Na, formulation ng lotion for skin na binibenta nung derma mismo doon sa clinic niya. Mahal nga eh. Paano po yung ganon? Mang Temyong, nandito ka. Alam mo na ba yung carry bang ng powers mong sagutin yon? Paano yung ganon? Kung bawal pala siya. Yun lang, yun ang question ko. Okay, let's continue.
tanong ko, kapag nakakuha kayo ng proof na tulad nitong napakarami sa listahan ko, daan-daan po ito, na kasama nga po sa networking ng Belkens, mga doktor, ano
Ayan,
po yung
no?
magiging immediate action ninyo?
Excel file.
Ano po yung maasahan ng taong bayan?
Siyempre mo, Mr. Chair and Mr. Senator, we will ask for due process. Siyempre, papasagutin natin sila. Usually, a show cause ang hinihingi
Yun nga
ng
po, sorry, Doc.
custody.
Yun nga, tapos na tayo dun sa due process, tapos na
At
tayo
kung
sa show.
ma-prove,
Pag na-prove na guilty nga sila, ano po yung pwedeng kahinatnan nila?
so number one, we can file charges kasi pag nakita yung kahit ethical po, pwede kong iakyat yan sa Board of Medicine for revocation of license, suspension of license. Pwede ko rin iakyat kung sa ospital namin, DOH Hospital, pwede kong iakyat sa Ombudsman for cases against these public officials po.
Okay. Ngayon naman dun sa PRC. PRC, magandang hapon po sa inyo. Kumusta po kayo?
I think for now, i-part 2 na lang natin yung continuation. So, hindi ko muna ulit siya papanoorin. Parang exciting pag video natin nang hindi ko na-preview. Mas exciting na gano'n. Pero, ayun, kasi medyo 1 hour na tayo. So, let's find another time for that. Ubos, ospital. O nga ang dami. Ang dami. Pero, baka may gray area. Baka nga may gray area. Kaya, I think, yon pwedeng it's about time they sort this out and iron this thing out. Pero, syempre, unahin yung MLM na pharma. Ang sinusundan niya. Yes, most of the time nga, ganun siya. Pero, ayun, di ba, exciting. Oo nga, Jeanette, 1 hour na. Pero, yun nga, next time na lang yung tungkol sa PRC. Kasi, yun nga, at least this time, may ample time si Secretary Herbosa na i-explain ng maayos. Pero parang itong latter part, medyo singit-singit pa rin talaga siya. No? Ganun talaga siya, no? Si Idol. Singit-singit talaga. Pero yun nga. Anyway, i-part 2 na lang yon. Thank you guys for watching. Joe Noodles, Mang Temyong, Takumi, Laurenan, and sino pa ba? Si Kobe Boy. Who else? Thank you so much for joining me watch this session. Alex Sigismundo, hello. Thank you. Bernard Magtibay, thank you. Jeanette. And si Reg Cruz and Bri, thank you. Perfect Defect, thank you. Henry Gazer. Hello. Teacher Celine, andito ka pala. Sorry, hindi kita nabate earlier. Hello, but yun nga, until next live, hindi ko muna to papanoorin para mas natural expression, but this is exciting. Ang muling pagtutuos ni Secretary Herbosa at ni Senator Raffy Tulfo. But I'm also interested kung ano yung sasabihin nila Senator JV and Senator Jinggoy. Yun lang muna for now. Thank you for watching. Again, if you want to say something, leave comment kung may do sa comment section. And have a good life. Smile always. Bye!